Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to use the new Focusrite device to record podcasts. When you go to record your podcast, you want to make sure that the mic inputs are plugged into the Focusrite device. Here you see the live audio board has the mics plugged into it. You can take these mic inputs right here and plug them in to the front of this Focusrite device. Before you unplug the mics from the live audio board, you first need to make sure that each of the line inputs for 1, 2, and 3 are set at 0 and that the buttons right here are muted. That way, when you unplug the mics from the board, it doesn't give a loud pop over the iZAG on-air signal. After each of the mics is plugged in, then you need to make sure that the Focusrite device is turned on. The power switch for the Focusrite device is located on the back near the power supply. To turn it on, simply press this button down and it will turn your Focusrite device on. After the Focusrite device is turned on, you need to make sure that the two 48-volt lights are on. This is phantom power, which helps power the microphones that you plug into the Focusrite device. As you can see, the 48-volt for mics 1 and 2 is turned on, so it's powering mics 1 and 2, and the 48-volt for mic 3 and 4, or in this case just mic 3, is turned on, so your mics are ready to go and receiving power from the Focusrite device. When you go to record your podcast, it's important that you're hearing the audio that you're putting into your podcast. So, to hear the live audio playback, you first need to plug in a headphone cable into one of the two outlets here on the front. You need to plug the other end into the stereo in of the headphone device. That way you can listen to up to 4 pairs of headphones at once while you're recording your podcast. Since there are 2 devices that need to use headphones for live audio playback, you need to make sure that the microphone cable you're plugging into the stereo in of the headphone device right here is the podcast headphones. This should be labeled with a piece of tape that says podcast headphones right on the front of it. In order for the computer to recognize the audio that you're transmitting to it, you need to have the USB plugged in from the Focusrite device into the iZAG desktop computer. Once all of these steps are completed, you're ready to do the computer settings needed to record your podcast. Hello everybody. I'm going to be showing you today how to use the Focusrite device to record podcasts in Adobe Audition. So to get there, we obviously opened Audition from the desktop and we created a new multi-track mixdown. If you first open Audition, you can go to File, click on New, Multi-Track Session. It'll create a new mixdown for you, or you can use Control-N as a shortcut to get to the window where we're at right now. Alright, so in order to get set up for your podcast, you first need to adjust the audio hardware on Audition. To do that, you go where it says None right here, and you click on Audio Hardware. You need to make sure that the device class is on ACO and that the device is Focusrite USB audio. Once you have these settings here, you can press OK and you're ready to go. Alright, so now where it says None right here, you need to make sure that each microphone that you use is its own track within Audition. So microphone 1 would be track 1, microphone 2 would be track 2, and so on. So to do that, you go where it says None right here, you click Mono, and then you put input 1 right here. That would be your input for microphone 1. For microphone 2, you go to Mono, press input 2, and then obviously for microphone 3, you go to Mono and press input 3 to do the same thing there. Now your inputs should be ready to go. Your outputs should remain on master so you can hear the same thing on each track. Now it's important to arm record each track of each mic that you're using so it records all at the same time. So to do this, you press the R button on each track, and you'll see that you're seeing levels from each of the 3 microphones right there. When you go to adjust your levels, you want to make sure that when you're talking into the microphone that your levels are about 70 to 75% from the top. That'll give you the best microphone recording quality for your podcast. Once you visually see that your levels are good to go and you listen to them through your headphones and they sound good, then you're ready to record. Now to hear live audio playback while you're recording, you can press the I button right here and you can hear yourself talking. I would recommend this for microphone tests. There's a bit of a delay though with the feedback for the monitor input. So when you're recording, my personal preference would be to turn these off if you don't want to hear yourself talking. But if you do, you can turn them on and you're good to go. So once your levels are set and you have your preferences for how you want to record, you're ready to record. So in order to do that, you press the red record button down here and it will start recording your track right now for you on all 3 tracks. As you see, like if I snap in front of microphone 1, you see it picks up the levels from microphone 1 and so on. So let's pretend that you're done with your podcast, you're happy with how it turned out, and you want to stop recording. To stop recording, you don't press the record button. Instead, you press the stop button. That will stop your recording right where it's at on the podcast. You can then use tools such as Razor, which in this instance, when I press R on the keyboard, you'll see that it shifts to what is a double razor here. For a multi-track, this is very important because the double razor will cut along all the lines of all the tracks that you use to record. So for example, when I go to cut, it cuts along all those lines right there. Now if I were to just have it on single razor, which if I press R again will go to that, see it only cuts on track 1 instead of tracks 1, 2, and 3. So you want to make sure that you're on double razor when you go to splice and dice your recording. So let's pretend that like this waveform right here was a cough or something that you don't want in your podcast. You obviously want it on double razor. You can cut it from right there to there. When you want to get rid of this section, you need to switch from double razor back to your mouse. To do that, you press the V button on your keyboard. You want to select all of the ones you want to get rid of. So let's see if somebody's talking on track 2 or track 3, but you just want to get rid of the cough on track 1. You can just select that one, and you can right click on it and click delete, and that will get rid of that for you. However, if it's not just a cough, if it's something else, if you want to get rid of something entirely from all 3 tracks, obviously you'd have the double razors, you click there. When you go to get rid of it, obviously you press V to get to your mouse. You want to select all 3 of the ones you want to get rid of, and you can either delete, which will create this space right here. And you might be thinking, well, gee, that's annoying. I want to, get rid of, whatever I need to get rid of in the program, but I want what's over here to move over to what's over here. So in order to do that, there is an option to do that. So instead of deleting, you want to select all 3 tracks or however many you're using. Instead of deleting, you go right click, ripple delete, selected clips, and it will move the space between what you cut at the beginning and what you cut at the end of the track. And that is the basics on how to use Adobe Audition with the Focusrite device. If you have any questions, you can email us at iZAG@gonzaga.edu. Thanks, and have a good day.